uprising in 2011, the latest being the ascent to power of Shia Muslim Houthi militias. They brought their northern rebellion to the capital Sana'a last September and earlier this year declared themselves the rulers of the country. But they now face a challenge from a newly formed political coalition calling itself the National Salvation Alliance, which has as its declared aim protecting the state from collapse and disintegration. Joining me now in the Newshour studio is Adam Barron, a visiting fellow at the Council on Foreign Relations. And who's in this alliance?
It's a mix of, I would say, the establishment opposition, which would be leftist groups, Muslim Brotherhood aligned groups, a number of tribesmen who were sided against Ali Abdullah Saleh during the Arab Spring. Generally speaking, I would say it's the anti-Saleh coalition from 2011, except without the Houthis and without the groups that sided with the Houthis.
So does this make it a predominantly Sunni Muslim group?
I would say so, but I think it's much more about politics, especially power politics, than it is about religion. And in a way, it makes this even more dangerous because you have both sides. Everyone wants to control all areas of Yemen, obviously, whether the Sunni or the Shia areas. So you're having this sort of political conflict taking on religious tones sort of on both ends.
So just weighing up both sides, which of the two would you say has the broader mandate?
I would say neither of them. And then I would also say that it's hard to say that there are two sides because in addition, you also have Ali Abdullah Saleh, the former president's people, who are still, sort of siding in an alliance of convenience with the Houthis, but, preparing to make their own play. Additionally, you have Hadi, who this new alliance supports, but he has his own aims as well. And then in addition to all of that, you have the southern secessionists who want the restoration of South Yemen being independent. So it's like this, I would say, mosaic of competing fault lines, which obviously make it, the situation even more dangerous than it was.
And, of course, into the mix Al-Qaeda as well.
Absolutely, yeah. And Al-Qaeda, obviously, is the kind of group that takes advantage of any power vacuum. And this power vacuum has been a boon to Al-Qaeda.
So for any outside organizations trying to reach a political resolution of the conflict in Yemen, it has become that much more difficult now.
Absolutely, and I think you've seen the UN-mediated talks really falter, and this has been something that we've seen for months now. You've had the same sort of people sitting around the same table with the same UN envoy fail to reach some sort of agreement. Now you see a new trend where the Gulf states are attempting to broker their own talks in Riyadh rather than in Sana'a. But then many parties, for example, the Houthis and, for example, the former president's people, they don't agree with that. They want the talks to be held in Yemen or at least in a different country rather than Saudi Arabia. So
with so much fragmentation, I mean, who's running Yemen at the moment? How does it continue to function as a state?
Essentially, you have these bureaucratic, the Yemeni government's bureaucracy is running on fumes right now, is how I'd say it. And I think it's been tremendous how much a lot of the state's actions have sort of held up. And to some extent, Yemen has always been a country where there's been a great degree of tumult, so people are used to it. But this is unprecedented, and there really is a question of how much longer this can go on before things really do collapse in a major way.
Adam Barron, a visiting fellow at the Council on Foreign Relations, many thanks.